Yanosuke is not just down bad, this man is historically down catastrophic. Like seriously, bro is out here overthinking every single conversation like it's a final exam, while also being ugly, broke, and emotionally confused. Pick a struggle, my guy. And the worst part? His childhood friends? Yeah, they're all absolute baddies. So now you're probably thinking, wow, he must be lucky then, right? No, because life looked at him and said, let's troll this man for content. Suddenly, all his childhood friends start catching feelings for him, and now they're circling him like he's the last chicken piece at a family wedding. Bro went from invisible NPC to main character in a romantic battle royale. And trust me, he is not built for this. That night, Yanosuke is dreaming. Bro is literally coping in his own dream, telling himself, childhood friends falling in love? That only happens in anime. He wakes up immediately, feeling cold, and realizes it was all a dream. And obviously he blames Shio. Because why not? Blame the girl, ignore your own life problems. Classic. But before he can even process anything, we see an arm wrapped around him. And guess what? It's Shio. She's cuddling him like she pays rent there. Like this is her room. Like bro is the guest skull. Yanosuke tries to escape, but she tightens her grip and flips the situation. Now he's on top of her. And for a split second, this looks like one of those educational videos in his browser history. Yeah, don't act innocent. You know what I'm talking about, but instead of acting smooth, this idiot panics and grabs her lips like he's checking if they're real. Who taught you that move, bro? You downloaded your skills from Google Drive or what? Shio wakes up, sees his face close to hers, and instantly starts acting like she just won an Oscar. She starts screaming, "Why are you in my room? Girl, you climbed in through the window like a GTA side mission," and Yanosuke calmly reminds her, "This is my room." But instead of apologizing, she accuses him of trying to steal her secret watermelons. What? Who hides watermelons in someone else's room? What kind of fruit smuggling operation is this? Then she just casually says, "Meet me at the front door," and jumps out the window, like she's training for Naruto, Neighborhood Edition. She even calls it a shortcut. Meanwhile, the wind lifts her skirt and Yanosuke gets an unexpected 4K premium view. Bro tries to act respectful and says, "Hey, you're showing too much," but let's be honest, his brain just saved that moment like, added to favorites heavy checkmark. While getting ready, he tells himself, it would be weird to see Shio romantically, bro. 5 minutes ago you were buffering like a 2005 YouTube video over what you just saw. This man is fighting hormones, delusion, and zero brain cells, all at once. When he steps outside, Shio immediately grabs his arm like it's her personal property. Bro says, "Let go." She moves even closer. She says it's normal. Normal? For who? Couples? Married people? Tax-paying adults? As they walk, Yanosuke starts feeling sad, because he thinks, to her, "I'm just a safe childhood friend." Meanwhile, this guy is having thoughts that would get him banned from society. And he promises himself, "I'll never let her know what I'm thinking." Good, because even we don't want to know skull. Meanwhile, Shio is losing patience. She's out here putting in Olympic-level effort to activate this man, and he's reacting like she just gave him homework. So she presses closer to him, trying to trigger something. Anything. A reaction. A signal. A heartbeat. But what does he say? "This is making it hard to walk." That's it? That's your response? She's creating full anime romance scenes, and this man is worried about Balance loudly crying face. So now she decides, alright, if he won't react, I'll force the plot. She fake trips and drags him down with her. Perfect positioning. Exactly as planned, bro lands right on top of her. Mission successful. And immediately she accuses him, "You did that on purpose." Because clearly she has read the same manga as him. She's expecting chaos, embarrassment, panic, but instead, she's dealing with Yanosuke, the only man who can turn a romantic moment into a system error. So instead of reacting like a normal human being, Yanosuke just stands up, looks at her, and says, "You're clumsy." That's it. No emotion, no embarrassment, no romance. Bro is drier than expired bread, but don't get it twisted. On the outside, he's calm, but inside, his brain downstairs is screaming like, "Hello? We are in a situation here? Do something?" Shio, refusing to accept defeat, switches strategy. She goes, "Oh no, my ankle. I think I sprained it," and instantly activates cute mode. You know, that anime mode where logic disappears and men lose 90% of their IQ. But not this guy. This man pulls out a first aid kit like a retired army medic. Bro came prepared. He's like, "Yeah, I expected this. You're always doing dumb stuff." Damn. He even starts remembering childhood stories like, "Yeah, you used to jump rooftops and injure yourself all the time." Excuse me? Were you raising a child or training Spider-Man? Shio blushes, because she realizes this man notices everything. He just chooses to act like a background character. So basically he's not clueless, he's just emotionally allergic. After checking her ankle, he says, "You're fine. Let's go." No sympathy, no drama, no rom-com music, just rejection in human form. But Shio is not giving up. She grabs his hand again and for a second, both of them freeze. System error. Brain not responding. Please restart romance.exe. She quickly makes up an excuse. "I just want to make sure you actually go to school." Yeah, right? Girl, you've been holding his hand for 3 business days. Then she adds, "My ankle still hurts. I need support." Support? You mean emotional attachment with extra benefits? And Yanosuke? He just gives up. Congratulations. You have defeated the final boss, his zero resistance personality. Now they're walking hand in hand. And even then, this man is sad. Bro really said, yeah, this is probably the peak of our relationship. What? You're literally holding hands with a cute girl and you're already planning the breakup in your head. This is not overthinking anymore, this is self-sabotage pro max. They turn around and boom. Akari, standing there, staring at their hands, like she just caught her husband cheating live. No buffering, no ads, straight betrayal. She slowly raises her finger, points at their hands, and the atmosphere? Dead. And instantly, these two panic and jump apart like, this is not what it looks like. Bro, they reacted like they were holding a grenade. They start explaining at light speed, faster than anime fight scenes, faster than your excuses during exams. But Akari? Her confusion slowly turns into a smile? Oh no, she's enjoying this. This is entertainment for her. She bends down to pick her bag, and her shoulders start shaking, because she's trying not to laugh. Meanwhile Yanosuke is still defending himself in court like, Your Honor, I am innocent. Bro, she's about to laugh. Suddenly her personality flips. Cold mode activated, she looks at him and says, You're being a creep toward Shio. And then, I must correct your behavior, as your childhood friend. Girl thinks she's the moral police department. She turns dramatically to leave, and Yanosuke panics, reaches out to stop her and grabs the wrong place. Bro, why are you like this? Akari instantly explodes, grabs his collar, starts strangling him like, you have chosen death. Shio jumps in trying to stop her. Wait, we were just holding hands. And then explains, I was dragging him to school. Wow, what a beautiful, romantic explanation. Akari freezes, turns away, and just says, you idiots. Accurate, very accurate. Now all three of them are standing there, awkward, silent, embarrassed, like they want to disappear, like your free trial ending on Netflix. Meanwhile, Yanosuke's brain goes, if they find out I like them, I'm finished. In his imagination they're both laughing at him, destroying him emotionally. Bro is getting rejected in scenarios that don't even exist. Meanwhile, Akari walks ahead, gets some distance, and suddenly, drops the tough act. She pulls out an old childhood photo of her and Yanosuke. Yeah, she's not as cold as she acts. But don't worry, this man is still too dumb to notice. So now Akari finally realizes something very important. If I don't do something, Shio is about to win. Congratulations, she just unlocked Jealousy DLC. She starts regretting how she acted earlier, but of course instead of apologizing like a normal human, she goes, I only acted like that because he's annoying. Yeah, classic Tsundere language. Translation, I like him but I'd rather die than admit it. Then suddenly her face turns red, because she remembers what this man grabbed earlier. Yeah, we're not forgetting that. Now she's overthinking like crazy. Wait, does he think Shio is better than me? Girl, you're competing over a guy who panics when holding hands. Lower your expectations. She looks at the sky like she's in a dramatic movie and says, I don't care about him at all. The sky, ma'am, nobody asked. Back at school, chaos continues. The moment they reach school, Akari immediately attacks. You're a creep. Why? Because he bought the same drink. These two cannot exist in the same oxygen without starting World War III. Loudly crying face. Shio tries to calm them down but gets called away for class rep duties. And the second she leaves, fight mode activated. No cooldown, no delay, instant toxicity. Yanosuke starts feeling bad. He remembers how sweet Akari used to be as a kid. Now he's like, does she even see me as a friend anymore? Bro finally using his brain, after 8 business days. So he tries to fix things, and says, this drink is actually pretty good. That's your emotional repair strategy? A drink review? Skull. Meanwhile, Akari on the inside, are you serious right now? She literally got into the same school, improved herself, bought the same drink, planned a whole interaction. And this man is still buffering like, loading emotions. 2%. They open their drinks at the same time and she instantly says, stop copying me. Girl, you both bought the same thing. Loudly crying face. Then suddenly Yanosuke realizes something terrifying. He's holding her bottle. He tries to warn her, but it's too late. She already drank from it. And boom, indirect kiss activated. Skull. Both of them freeze. System crash. Brain.exe has stopped working. Akari recovers first and immediately starts teasing him. Why are you acting like a little kid? Then hits him with, what, are you a virgin? Violation. And finally Yanosuke wakes up. Bro said, wait, you have experience? Oh, now you wanna talk? Skull. Akari, of course, lies, yeah, obviously. And then adds, sharing anything with you is disgusting. Ma'am, you just shared a drink. Loudly crying face. The argument gets louder now. The whole class is watching. Free entertainment popcorn. But then, she turns away, because she's about to cry. Why? Because the thought of him kissing someone else actually hurts a lot. Meanwhile Yanosuke says, I'm actually a professional kisser. From where? Dreams? Imagination? Tutorial mode? Skull. The most dangerous idea ever to prove a point. Akari says, fine, then kiss me. Excuse me? Who approved this decision? Loudly crying face. Next scene, they're at the staircase. Both shaking. Both pretending to be confident. Both liars. He notices she's trembling. She notices his knees shaking. And she makes fun of him. Bro is about to collapse like weak Wi-Fi. Skull. After a long pause, Yanosuke finally admits, I've never kissed anyone. Character honesty unlocked. Took long enough. And suddenly, Akari softens. She gently holds his face, and leans in. For a moment, everything goes quiet. No jokes. no chaos, just rom-com magic sparkles. It actually feels like this might happen in episode 1. Impossible, but happening. But then, of course, because this is anime, because happiness is illegal. Interruption. Shio appears, like an alarm clock at the worst moment. Alarm clock skull. They instantly freeze. Embarrassment level. Max. Shio walks up, looks at them, and instead of exploding, she calmly removes a thread from his hair and says, "Oh, I thought that's what you were doing. Girl, you know damn well that's not what was happening." Loudly crying face. Akari awkwardly agrees, "Yeah, totally," both of them acting like criminals who just got caught mid-crime. Skull. And then, because the universe loves chaos, Akari trips. And boom, her cartoon underwear gets revealed. Shio instantly covers Yanosuke's eyes like, "No free content today." But this man still manages to speak. "Wow, you're still wearing childish prints? Bro, you deserve what's coming." Loudly crying face. Akari punches him straight in the stomach. Justice served. Heavy checkmark. Balance restored. Heavy checkmark. And just like that, the fight starts again. Round 57. No winner, only damage. Yanosuke concludes, "Yeah, dating a childhood friend is impossible." Finally, a correct conclusion. Meanwhile, Shio realizes something serious. Akari is not playing anymore. She's no longer just a childhood friend. She's now high-threat love rival. Back in class, the male classmates are just sitting there, down horrendous. They're staring at Shio and Akari like, "Man, life is so unfair." "Yeah bro, welcome to reality." Then they turn to Yanosuke and ask, "Have you ever seen them, change clothes?" "Excuse me? What kind of FBI question is that?" Skull. And Yanosuke, being the certified idiot he is, says, "I don't see my childhood friends as." And of course, because timing in anime is illegal, Shio walks in right at that moment. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. She hears everything, but pretends she's not offended. Instead, she walks up and hugs him, publicly, in class, in front of everyone. Yanosuke, let go. Shio, tightens grip. Bro said stop. She heard, increase pressure. Skull. Then she casually says, "Let me copy your homework." Ah yes. Academic excellence through physical attachment books. Loudly crying face. He gives her notes, but tells her to stop clinging. Does she listen? No. She just sits on his lap. Classroom BTW. Not home. Not private. Full public mode. Skull. And now, Yanosuke's brain, system overload. Police car light. He tries to protest, but his voice comes out like broken subtitles. The whole class notices. Now everyone's like, "Yeah, this guy is a pervert. Congratulations party popper, you have unlocked wrong reputation." Shio defends him like, "We've always been this close. Ma'am, this is not normal behavior." Loudly crying face. But deep down, she's smiling, because she just confirmed, oh, he does have weaknesses. Yeah, weakness equals existing near women. Skull. Then, Akari enters the scene, sees this disaster, and goes, "What are you two doing?" She tries to pull Shio off, but Shio refuses. So Akari goes, "Oh, we're competing now?" and sits on his other leg. Bro is now a human chair. Loudly crying face. She says, "I forgot my homework too." Liar. You came here for war. And the class? Just watching. Like they bought VIP tickets, admission tickets, popcorn ready. Drama loading. Now Yanosuke is experiencing emotional damage, physical pressure, mental collapse. All at once. He finally snaps, pushes both of them away, and runs to the bathroom like, "I need to uninstall life." New chaos unlocked. Later, he gets on the bus. Barely. Like he's entering a battle arena. The bus is packed. No seats. Just vibes and suffering. He's standing there holding the strap like, "Yeah, I made bad decisions in life." Suddenly, the bus jerks. He bumps into someone. He apologizes, looks up, freezes. Wow, she's pretty. For once, his brain is working. Then it loads fully, and he realizes, it's Shio. Of course it is. Who else would spawn in front of him like an NPC with a quest marker? Skull. Shio smiles like, bonus scene unlocked. Smiling face with smiling eyes. Plot god is cooking hard today. He quickly says, "I'm going to the bakery, big sale," trying to sound normal. Like he didn't memorize discount timings like a broke strategist. Loudly crying face. And guess what? She's going there too. Of course. Because coincidence doesn't exist here. They start talking, and Yanosuke is just staring like, when did she become this? Somewhere between childhood chaos goblin, right arrow, and current day Shio. She did a full character upgrade. No patch notes. No warning. Suddenly, the bus swerves. She loses balance. And he catches her. Hero moment? No. Now they're extremely close. Dangerously close. Emotionally illegal distance. Skull. To hide his embarrassment, he says, "Learn how to balance properly." Wow. Romance 0. Roasting 100. But Shio? She presses even closer, wraps her arms around him. This girl does not believe in personal space. Personal space is a myth to her. Loudly crying face. Yanosuke starts taking deep breaths like, calm down, control yourself, bro is fighting for his life. But Shio notices. Of course she does. She leans in and whispers, "Are you motion sick?" No. He's suffering from girl proximity syndrome. Skull. Then, she gently rubs his ear, saying, "I used to do this when you got bus sick as a kid." Childhood memory activated. But now, it hits different. Way different. Because now, she's not a kid anymore. And this man is not ready. So what does he do? He pulls her into a hug. Smooth? No. Emergency survival tactic. Loudly crying face. Shio freezes. Surprised. And he panics. "I feel sick, help me get to the bakery." Bro. You are not sick. you are just weak skull. Reality, he just cannot maintain eye contact anymore. He thinks, this position is safer, his heart, and oh it's not police car light. He pushes her away, finally looks at, so, when Yanosuke finally looks at Shio, he freezes. Because for the first time, she's the one blushing. She's overheating. System glitch detected. Before she can even say anything, this man grabs her, and drags her off the bus. Shio's like, wait, the bakery is that way? Bro took a detour like he's about to confess, loudly crying face. Then he says, stop hiding your feelings. Oh? Wait, for one beautiful second, her heart explodes like, this is it. Confession arc unlocked, sparkling heart sparkles. And then, this man walks to a vending machine. No way, loudly crying face. He buys a soda. She looks at the can like, wow, even Coca-Cola betrayed me today. And Yanosuke goes, this is for your motion sickness. Bro, you just killed the entire romance arc skull. But then, he adds, I remember you feel better after drinking soda. Okay wait, that's actually kinda sweet. We'll give him +2 points. Still dumb though. She takes the drink, a little sad, but also touched. Because this man remembers everything. They sit on a bench, quiet, peaceful. She leans on him and thinks, persistence wins wars. Meanwhile, Yanosuke acting like he doesn't care, but his soda can is shaking like, bro you are in love, loudly crying face. Next day, it's raining, so the trio is stuck inside class. And what are they doing? Playing word games. Yes, high school students. Romantic tension everywhere, and they chose kindergarten activity skull. Akari complains, this is boring, but then admits, I just wanted to do something together. Sundra.exe still running. Now it's Yanosuke's turn, and he says something that sounds like Shio's name. Both girls, heads snap like owls. Target locked. Yanosuke panics. No, it's just a word. Bro started sweating like he got caught cheating in an exam, loudly crying face. Akari feels jealous, but immediately converts it into anger, because emotions are illegal for her. Then she starts playing smart. She sets up words so he's forced to say her name next. Girl is playing chess, but Yanosuke? Still playing offline mode. No matter what she does, he never says her name. Instead, he says something random like, allo. Allo? Bro ruined the entire strategy, loudly crying face. Akari's master plan, destroyed. Confidence, gone. After school, rain again. Of course, because romance equals rain. Yanosuke walks past a shrine, and sees Akari struggling. Fixing her soaked stockings? Complaining to herself. He accidentally makes a sound. She panics, slips, and starts throwing random objects at him, loudly crying face. Bro turned into the final boss of embarrassment. He runs away, but halfway down, guilt hits. Character development? A little. He comes back, offers his umbrella. Akari instantly says, no, because pride, happiness skull. So he shrugs and leaves, and she's like, wait, come back. But says it like, you were begging me anyway. Image management, 100% honesty, 0% loudly crying face. Now they're walking together, under one umbrella? In silence. Meanwhile, Shio is somewhere else like, wow, I missed my chance, but then remembers snacks, and immediately switches priorities skull. Back to Yanosuke and Akari, they reach a corner. Silence gets heavy. Yanosuke looks at her and thinks, wow, she's changed. Yes bro, she grew up. You should try it too, loudly crying face. Silence gets awkward, so she complains, you're walking too fast. I'm getting wet. He immediately adjusts the umbrella, even lowers his shoulder to cover her better. Small moment, big meaning. But Yanosuke thinks, she probably hates me. Why is this man like this, loudly crying face? Meanwhile, Akari pushes his face away when he looks at her. He's like, where did the sweet Akari go? Bro, she's right there. Just emotionally unstable skull. Truth is, she's barely holding it together. She doesn't know how to act, so she switches to cold mode, but then, she notices his shoulder is getting wet, so she pulls him closer under the umbrella. Cute moment, right? Wrong. Yanosuke thinks, oh, she wants me to wipe her off. Bro, you are actually unbelievable, loudly crying face. He casually asks Akari, so, which part do you want me to dry? Bro, what kind of question is that, loudly crying face? Akari instantly snaps, your shoulder, you idiot. Yeah bro, your brain went to the wrong website again skull. She grabs the umbrella so he can dry himself, but accidentally grabs his hand. And instantly, both of them jump back like, illegal contact detected. Now the silence? Loud, like exam hall level silence. Inside, Yanosuke is screaming, why is this girl hot and cold every 5 minutes? Bro is fighting emotional climate change skull. Then he notices, she's holding the umbrella too high. He points it out, and she awkwardly says, I raised it, because you got taller, I didn't want to hit your head, that hits harder than the rain. Yanosuke.exe has stopped working, because for the first time in years, she's being soft. Bro starts blushing like he just unlocked a rare memory, loudly crying face. But before he can say anything, a car speeds by. He splash sweat droplets, water incoming. Dignity outgoing. Instinct kicks in. He pulls her close to protect her. Umbrella? Gone. Respect? Gone. Both of them? Soaked. He realizes he's holding her tight, and immediately lets go like, I did nothing wrong. But instead of yelling, Akari softly says, thank you, bro, this is character development, loudly crying face. That one, thank you, almost resets their entire relationship. Yanosuke even says, I'm glad we walked home together, rain and all. For a moment everything feels good. Like maybe, just maybe, they can fix things. And then, they both look down. Her clothes are soaked. Akari's brain, he's staring. Reality, he's just existing. And boom, she slaps him so hard his ancestors felt its skull. Then storms off like, mission accomplished. Yunasuke just stands there in the rain like, yeah, love is fake. Childhood friends are insane. Finally, correct conclusion again. That night, Shio is chilling with snacks like, side quest completed popcorn. She thinks, should I share with Yunasuke? But his room is dark, so she checks next door. Akari is home. Inside, Akari is talking to a stuffed toy like, I do not like him. Absolutely not. Yeah. Totally believable skull. She's staring at his photo like it's a forbidden artifact. Meanwhile, Shio is outside the window like, full spy mode activated. Akari suddenly senses something, turns, and sees her. Why are you at the window like a ghost? Loudly crying face. Shio immediately says, let's have a snack party. Emergency damage control. They sit down, eating chips, tension thicker than the plot. Shio casually brings up the photo. Akari instantly, I don't like him. Zero feelings. Her mouth, I don't care. Her face, growing heart, growing heart, growing heart. As she keeps talking, her tone softens. Shio gently asks, are you sure? And Akari explodes, I hate him. Then instantly, I just want things to be like before. This girl is emotionally buffering worse than Yunasuke. Loudly crying face. Shio says, he's stubborn, but maybe if he was kinder. Akari imagines that, and instantly blushes like, and oh, that's disgusting. Girl, pick a personality skull. Shio is just sitting there like, what is going on with this human? To change the topic, Akari shows her a cute video, but Shio accidentally sees search history. Akari panics, and bonks her with the phone. Loudly crying face while getting an ice pack. Photo albums fall out, all filled with Yunasuke. Akari, he just photobombs everything. Evidence, that's a lie. Shio remembers their childhood promise, no secrets, so she asks again, what do you really feel? And finally, Akari admits, he's annoying, because he still treats us like kids. She pauses, and says, I just want him to treat me like a girl, and there it is. So now, we have Shio aggressive love strategist, Akari emotional tsundere mess, Yunasuke certified misunderstanding champion. And the story? Just getting started. So now, Shio is finally relieved. Akari basically confirmed, I don't like him like that. I just want him to treat me better. Shio's like, okay. I still have a chance. Relieved face. Then she casually brings up, remember when he gave me a toy dinosaur? A toy dinosaur. And she says it like, that was peak romance. Girl, your standards are in the Jurassic era. T-Rex. Loudly crying face. Both of them start roasting Yunasuke together, laughing like, yeah, he's such an idiot. And deep down, they both know, even if they like the same guy, their friendship comes first. AWW, healthy mindset, respect. But, what they don't know, is that Yunasuke is outside the window. Bro is collecting emotional damage for free skull. He came to return a handkerchief, instead got a full live broadcast of rejection. He quietly turns to leave like, yeah, I'm not needed here. But suddenly, they scream inside and this man runs in. Hero entry? No. He walks into peak embarrassment. Akari sees him, and instantly starts beating him like, why are you here? Bro got jumped for existing. Loudly crying face. Meanwhile, Shio is watching like, does she hate him, or just hate how much she doesn't hate him? Girl is doing psychological analysis mid-chaos skull. Next day, Shio sneaks into his room again. At this point, she has more access than the owner. Loudly crying face. She reads his rom-com manga, and guess what? The childhood friend wins. And she starts crying, because she wants that ending. She looks at sleeping Yunasuke and says, I'll get my own happy ending too. Then climbs out the window like, mission accepted. Meanwhile, Yunasuke remembers the day he bought that manga. Bro was in disguise, like he's buying illegal weapon skull, but Shio and Akari spotted him instantly, and the manga drop. Shio casually says, I already knew about your secret stash under the bed. Bro? She's been doing room inspections like FBI. Loudly crying face. Akari starts teasing him, so you want a childhood friend ending, huh? Since that day this man has known no peace. Now he's acting distant. Shio tries being close to him, but he keeps pushing her away. She goes back to her seat like, yeah, I'm losing. Akari notices, and for once, she supports her. She says, he's just being a brat, don't give up. Wait, character development? Enemies right arrow temporary allies for the sake of love skull. After school, Shio decides, I'm gonna recreate a rom-com scene. Plan, get locked in a room with him. Reality, he got cleaning duty somewhere else. Nobody told her. So now, she's sitting in the storage room, alone. Hours pass. She falls asleep, wakes up, dark, door locked, phone dead. She tries shouting, no one answers. And suddenly, that loneliness hits. Not the funny loneliness, the real one. Because now, Yunasuke is acting distant too. And she starts thinking, what if I'm really alone again? Damn. Even the jokes paused for a second. Pensive face. Then, footsteps. Fast. Panicked. Door handle rattles, door opens. And there he is. Yunasuke, out of breath. Bro actually ran. Character development confirmed. Loudly crying face. For a second, you can see relief on his face. But of course, he hides it immediately. Because expressing emotions is illegal for him. He says, I knew you'd be here. Yeah right, you were panicking like it's the final boss fight skull. He continues, I thought you were planning a surprise, bro, just say you were worried. Loudly crying face. but no, he has to frame everything like a rom-com setup. Then he turns away and says, let's go home, everyone was worried. Translation, I was worried but I'm too scared to admit it. Shayo looks at him, softly, grateful, and says, thank you, for finding me. And Yanosuke freezes, blushes, then says, of course, we're childhood friends. This man loudly crying face. So after all of this, we're childhood friends, that line hits Shayo hard, because it pulls her back to a memory, years ago, when she felt completely alone, and this same guy showed up, with meatballs. Yeah, not flowers, not chocolates, meatballs. He sat next to her and said, call me whenever you feel lonely, that's what childhood friends are for. Back then, that felt like comfort. Back to present, Yanosuke pulls out his phone like, yeah, let me update everyone, bro is avoiding emotions like their taxes skull. Meanwhile, Shayo gathers courage, and says, I thought, you hated me, because he's been acting cold lately, and Yanosuke almost crashes internally, because he can't exactly say, yeah I was embarrassed because you found my secret rom-com stash. Shayo suddenly hugs him, and what happens? Balance equals gone, gravity equals wins, they both fall to the floor. Romantic scene? No. Clumsy disaster as usual. Skull. Yanosuke tries to get up, panicking, but Shayo softly says, can we stay like this a little longer? Oh, wait, this is actually happening? Yanosuke calms himself down, and instead of choosing romance, he chooses stupidity. He puts his hand over her mouth and says, don't joke around, everyone is worried. Bro, you just cancelled the entire love scene. Loudly crying face. In his head, this is just her teasing. In reality, you missed the biggest opportunity of your life. Skull. Shayo feels disappointed, but hides it, and just says, I'm hungry, maybe I'll eat hamburger steak. Random? No. That triggers the old memory, the meatballs. And suddenly, Yanosuke goes quiet. He sits up and asks, is something bothering you? Wow. He used observation? Character development +5. Loudly crying face. Shayo pouts like, you always see through me, then sits beside him and says, I don't want to talk about anything serious, I just want to spend time with you. Simple, soft, dangerous for his heart. Skull. They sit quietly, close, warm, and Yanosuke, nervous as always. So he jokes, you're acting shy, you're usually very clingy. Shayo's face turns a little sad, and she says, you told me to stop being clingy. Emotional damage. Skull. Yanosuke instantly regrets everything, and says, you can act however you want, when it's just us. Congratulations party popper, you just unlocked permission. She immediately grabs his hand, leans on him, and notices, you smell nice. Bro showered before coming, he was stressed. His heart starts racing again. She squeezes his hand and says, I want to spend more time with you. Voice soft, real feelings. Then hugs him tighter, talking about how strong her feelings are. And for one moment, Yanosuke thinks, maybe, this isn't impossible. Maybe, childhood friends can fall in love. Oh? He's learning? Interruption. Final boss. Nope. Lights turn on. Akari appears at the door, out of breath, like she ran a marathon. Timing? Perfectly ruined. Yanosuke and Shayo, instant separation. Akari storms in, looks angry, then suddenly, hugs Shayo, and starts crying. You idiot. You worried us. She really cares. Then immediately switches target. Yanosuke, why didn't you text me? He says, I did. She checks her phone, sees the message from 20 minutes ago, and gets even more mad. Loudly crying face. Why didn't you bring her home immediately? Bro can't win. Shayo explains, I was trapped, I just needed time. Carefully avoiding any mention of. Backhand index pointing right. Almost confession. Backhand index pointing right. Hug moment. Backhand index pointing right. Emotional scene. The moment Shayo leaves, she turns to Yanosuke like, alright, be honest. Do you have feelings for Shayo? Straight to the point. No filter. No mercy. Loudly crying face. And Yanosuke says, yeah, I like her. Oh? Character development? And then immediately ruins it, but as family. Bro, you were this close. Pinching hand. Loudly crying face. Akari's face, are you serious right now? But he keeps going, we're just childhood friends. Nothing more. At this point, even the audience is tired of this line. Skull. That night, Yanosuke can't sleep, because Shayo's words keep replaying in his head. And now, they sound less like a joke, and more like a confession. Bro finally unlocking brain version 1.0. Loudly crying face. Next morning, he peeks outside, sees Shayo leaving, and instantly realizes, yeah, I'm finished. All his attempts to ignore his feelings failed. As they walk to school, he tries to act normal. Hey, your uniform looks a little different. Bro talking about clothes while fighting emotional collapse. Skull. But inside, he's like, why is she so cute today? Then suddenly, she runs ahead saying, I have something to do. And he just stands there smiling like an idiot. Yeah, we might start dating soon. Bro started planning future. Skull. He's like, we already hold hands, so next step is, AYO? Calm down sir. Loudly crying face. Man almost started running in public from excitement. And then, Akari appears. Why do you look so disgusting? Reality check delivered. She accuses him, you're treating her like one of your manga girls. And honestly, she's not wrong. Skull. He tries to defend himself, but she just leaves. Angry, frustrated, hurt. And now Yanosuke finally thinks, wait, does she also like me? Bro, welcome to the plot. Loudly crying face. Meanwhile, Shayo is in the bathroom like, did he figure it out? Akari notices her blushing like, yeah, something happened. Interrogation mode on. Magnifying glass tilted left. And of course, Yanosuke is nearby, listening. Half information. Full misunderstanding skull. He hears bits and thinks, OMG, they're fighting? So what does he do? Runs into the girl's bathroom. Bro has no survival instinct. Loudly crying face. He's ready for drama? Confession, chaos. And then hears Shio say, I'm not going to date him. Silence. She continues, I was just copying a scene from his manga to tease him. Even shows the page. Proof. Evidence. Case closed. Skull. Yanosuke just stands there. Frozen heart equals shattered soul equals deleted. Confidence equals uninstalled, but instead of reacting, he laughs. Fake laugh. I knew it was a joke. No, you didn't. Loudly crying face. Then quietly leaves. And the moment he turns, he breaks. Runs away crying. Because for the first time, this man realizes, I actually cared. And yeah, that one hit hard. Shio? Instant regret. She realizes, wait, I messed up. Hiding her real feelings behind a joke may have ruined everything. Meanwhile, Akari feels relief, just for a second. Then immediately, wow, I'm a terrible person. Guilt unlocked. Skull. Later that evening, Akari is trying to relax in the bath, thinking about him. Why am I even thinking about him? And suddenly, door opens. Yanosuke walks in. Bro? Again? She screams, kicks him out, instantly. Loudly crying face. Turns out, both their bathrooms are under repair. So the family said, let's share one house. Let's make it a party. Who approved this idea? Skull. Parents, kids. Akari goes to the balcony to calm down. Yanosuke follows to apologize. But she says, just leave me alone. That one hurt. Because, when they were kids, she used to cling to him and say, don't go home yet. Now, she doesn't even want him near her. Akari suddenly grabs his shirt like, answer me. Do you remember our promise? Yanosuke says, yeah, and leans closer. Oh, wait, is this a kiss scene? Akari's brain, it's happening. And then, this man says, yeah, I promised I'd go with you to the bathroom at night. Bro, what? Loudly crying face. Man brought up toilet escort mission in a romantic moment. Skull. He's laughing like, remember sleepovers? You used to drag me and Shio for support. Akari, I'm going to throw you off this balcony. Because that is not the promise she meant. She was thinking about the time her cat died. When he said, I'll never leave your side. Real promise. Real emotion. Real moment. Her expression drops. And then, Yanosuke finally remembers. And softly repeats that same promise. Bro almost cooked. Loudly crying face. Then ruins it by asking, why are you asking this now? Sir, read the room. Skull. Akari takes a deep breath, and says, when are you going to make me your wife? Bro's brain, no thoughts, no logic, only buffering. Before he can respond, Shio appears from behind, wraps her arms around him. Slightly drunk. Not from alcohol, from vibes. Her mom in the background like, yeah, she got drunk from atmosphere. Science has left the chat. Skull. Shio teases him, why is your face so red? Akari smacks his back like, don't get too comfortable. And walks off like, yeah, I still control the situation. Next day, Yanosuke goes to the park to relax. Peaceful vibes, calm mind. And then, two kids say, let's get married when we grow up. Yanosuke chokes on drink because he's like, wait, that's literally how rom-coms start. And now, his life feels like a meme. He tries to calm down, but the more he thinks about Shio Akari, the more confused he gets. Finally, he yells, childhood friends are so annoying. People around him, slowly leaving. Yeah, this guy is not stable. Skull. Suddenly, a girl appears. She grabs his face. What is happening? Skull squints, and suddenly lights up like, found him. Calls him by his childhood nickname, starts spinning him around, calls him brother. Bro got kidnapped. Emotionally. Loudly crying face. Turns out, she's Runa, another childhood friend. Came back after 5 years. And now, she's staying at his house. Bro, why is his house a childhood friend hostel? Loudly crying face. His mom casually says, yeah, she'll live here for now. Yanosuke, I quit. He remembers, she used to follow them around as a kid. Back then, cute. Now, still cute. Danger level increasing. Skull. He goes upstairs to prepare her room. Runa calls him, and he's like, oh, new rom-com development? Nope. She shows him stuffed toys. Says she can't sleep without them. Bro's fantasy, deleted. Reality, she's still adorable. Loudly crying face. They clean together. He compliments her courage. She blushes and says, I'm happy to be with my favorite person. Bro blushes too, then says, she sees me as a brother. No, she doesn't. Loudly crying face. She says, I like you. Clear, direct, no confusion. And what does he do? Laughs, pats her head. You're so sweet. This man is a menace. Skull. She tries to explain, but Shio and Akari enter the room. See Runa, hug her, happy reunion. Meanwhile, Runa, wow, they grew up. Meanwhile, Yanosuke, I'm surrounded. Later, he's in the bath, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything. Shio almost confessed. Akari asked about marriage. Runa said she likes him. And now, all three are around him. Bro finally realizes, this is bad. Because the guy who said, childhood friends don't become romantic leads, is now trapped in a story where everyone is a childhood friend. Skull.